Hey folks, Chef Jesse here. How's everybody doing on what is it, Monday afternoon, Monday evening, whatever you want to call it. Uh, I'm just a little bit out of it. I just learned this morning when I woke up the loss of a really, really, really good friend of mine. We grew up together. We lived in the same building. We hung out together all the time. We did our crazy things when we were young together. He even drove my car. I don't let anybody drive my car. And my boy Tommy Burns drove my car more than once. And he was just a wonderful person in the neighborhood. He knew everybody. People respected him. He respected everybody. And he would never let anything happen to you while he was around. I mean, he was a nice guy, but he stood his ground. And if he saw you were in trouble, he'd help you out. So to lost stuff, I still can't get over it. So. And anyway, he also liked to cook. He had a knack for cooking. So today I'm going to dedicate this segment of cooking to him, to my boy Tommy, wherever he is. So anyway, folks, we're going to start making meatloaf. Meatloaf, a lot of people don't like meatloaf. They call it mystery meat. They call it, I don't know. If you think it's mystery meat, go to the butcher and have the steak run through the machine. Then you know what's in there, right? But it's, people call it, you find it in diners, you find it in school lunch. I mean, there's 1,001 ways to make meatloaf. People have their own secrets to making meatloaf. I've made it different ways. I've made a simple meatloaf. I've made an Italian meatloaf with cheese and all kind of stuff in it. I change it around. And so today I'm gonna make a simple meatloaf because like I said, I'm out of it. I don't want to really I'm not even thinking right now. So anyway, I'm preheating my oven. I got about 2 pounds of ground beef in here. Okay, and I'm gonna start mixing it up. And I'll show you how I do it. So with this simple one here, so stay tuned. So for folks, the first thing you got to do always when you're working with meats and stuff like that, because you're gonna put your hand in this. Wash your hands often. Use paper towels. Paper towels disposable, so you don't have to use the same paper towel over and over and over. So first of all, I'm gonna be making a small meatloaf in this loaf pan, right? And what I like to do is, so it won't stick, I like to spray it with I use the Mazola cooking spray. I spray the sides, the bottom. Okay. Okay. So we're gonna put that to the side. I'm gonna get my ground beef, and it's about 2 pounds of meat here. And let's show you. Okay. So, and remember, this looks like a lot, maybe, but it shrinks. Okay. And if you're cooking for a big family, you gotta get more meat. So what I like to do is I like to make holes in it. Wash my hands again. Now the problem with this kind of meat is that you really can't taste it. You can't unless you want to stick your finger in there and taste it. Now I usually use my own ingredients, but today this from McCormick is very great. It's great. I'm telling you, I use it all the time. When I'm in a hurry to make the meatloaf. This has everything that you need to make the meatloaf taste good. You just empty that envelope in there. I like to put breadcrumbs. Breadcrumbs softens up the meat. Okay, so I sprinkle about a half a cup in there, give or take of I like to use the Italian style breadcrumbs. Hey, and come on, why not? Some Italian seasoning. Okay, so we put some Italian seasoning in there, a tablespoon, give or take. Okay. And of course, garlic. You gotta have garlic in there. So a teaspoon of garlic, tablespoon, whatever you want to call it. Okay. So, and of course some little bit of salt. All this stuff has. So I'm gonna sprinkle about a teaspoon of salt in there, and then pop an egg in there. Okay. There you go. Now this is where it gets messy with your hands. Remove your rings. Get gloves if you need to. So I got my glove on, and what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna start to knead this, just like you're doing bread. You can't get all the ingredients in there. You don't want any pieces that are not seasoned. Okay, and this takes a couple of minutes. Go through it patiently. Okay, there you go. You squeeze. Yeah, look at that, it's starting to look good. Sometimes I put cheese in here. and the cheese keeps it nice and moist inside. So I put some cheddar cheese in there sometimes. And just because I'm mentioning it right now, I am going to put some cheese in there. Now, this is my own idea. You don't have to put cheese in there. Okay, if I can get this thing out of here. Okay, I'm putting some cheddar cheese in here. Just because, for the simple fact that I have it in the refrigerator, I don't want it to go bad. So put it in there. What the hell? Okay, it just sort of moistures the meatloaf. When the cheese melts in there, I tell you, the oil from the grease from the cheese just keeps the meatloaf moisturized. Okay, so this, like I said, there's a small meatloaf for Gilbert and I, and so he can take some for lunch because obviously I am not working yet, trying to recuperate. Okay, so I take this meatloaf out, and I think it's pretty done. Okay, let me go. Okay, and what I want to do, I want to put it in the pan. Okay, and what I want to do, I want to make sure that it doesn't have any air pockets. Okay, so the air pockets will break up the meat and break it up. Okay, so what I'm doing, I'm squeezing it and making sure that we don't have any air pockets in there. Okay, and you can spread this out. Of course, this is going to shrink because you're going to get the shrinkage. Okay. There you go. I'm using my hands now, but of course I wash my hands. I'm constantly washing my hands. My hands are... This thing is... Okay, so some people put ketchup on it. Some people put other stuff on it. I don't like ketchup, so I'm not putting ketchup. But traditionally, meatloaf has ketchup on top, and you put it in the oven. And, okay. So so am I done here? Let me wash my hand. Take this off and wash my hand. Even though I had a glove, I wash my hands, folks. Wash your hands all the time. Okay. And dry your hands. And remember, always use a fresh towel. Okay. So this should be good right now. So folks, I preheated the oven at 350. I'm going to cook this for about an hour and a half. Then I'm going to check it. Last couple minutes, I'll take it out, let a little bit of a cook on top. So what I like to do, I like to cover this with aluminum foil real tight as possible, so it can cook with the steam, and then cook it in there with the heat. So like I said, I set the oven to 350, and we're gonna have some mashed potatoes with this, and we're gonna have some corn. What I like to do, so it vents a little bit, I make it 4 little holes there, and that's the vent. Okay, and I put this in the oven. Okay, I had to get my pan. So I like to put it on top of there, and I like to put it in the oven. And I set my timer to 1 hour, because that's how it goes, and then I'll check it later. So folks, there goes the easy made Uncle Jesse meatloaf. Like I said, today I didn't want to go fancy. I'm trying to absorb this news about my friend, and it's just hard because these are people who you grew up with, and you never imagine them passing away. You're young, you're crazy, and then you grow to be adults. You move on to have your own families. He had 2 sons, I think a daughter. He had grandchildren. I mean, we always kept in touch, and now he's gone. In his 50s, and it's just sad. And his birthday was in November. Actually, we were Scorpios, and I just can't get over it. It's gonna take a while. It's really gonna take a while. Of all people, you think about, the good guys. That's why they say only the good die young. So anyway, folks. So there goes my easy made meatloaf, and like I said, I'm dedicating this segment to him because he also liked to cook. I used to see pictures of him cooking stuff, and and things like that. So anyway, folks, give me a moment here. So we're gonna have the meatloaf, mashed potatoes, and corn, and that's how I made my easy made meatloaf. Like I said, there's 101 ways to make meatloaf. People will put eggs in it and stuff like that. I don't know. Ketchup on it is traditional. I don't use ketchup because I don't like ketchup. Sometimes I put barbecue sauce on top. I've made it with teriyaki sauce. I made it one time. I made an Italian one that had 3 types of cheese. It had mozzarella, it had provolone, it had Parmesan, shredded Parmesan, you know. But right now, I just want to get through this day. So, folks, with that said, I just set my oven for 1 hour. In 1 hour, I'll check it. It'll probably need more, and you check the temperature of the meatloaf, and then it's gonna get hot in this apartment. So let me go turn on the air conditioner. So, folks, with that said, I will see you guys later when the meatloaf is done, and see how it comes out. So, stay with me. Stay tuned.